I'm doing just fine. Another good day in college basketball, 3-2. We keep the streak alive, and we're moving up in the percentages. Another 60% today. I'm hoping to get by like 57, 58 by the end of the season. I know everything that goes up must come down. So it's just a matter of time before the streak starts to slow itself. But just looking forward to all these slates coming out every day because I feel like I'm, seeing, how they say it in baseball, if they're hitting the lights out of the ball, they're seeing beach balls. And I feel like that's what I'm seeing when I'm looking at these cards right now.
Now, real quick, Morgan, right before we started recording, remember when Greg said he wasn't going to boast or anything like that? Is that why you're
Everything that
smiling?
he just said triggered
It's
me so much, and I'm just like
it's
breathing so hard. Like I'm just.
it's for content, boys.
I respect it.
No.
I respect it. I respect it. The kid's hot. Like, what are you gonna do? I'm happy for him. We want to see everybody succeed on here. Billy right now and I look like the guy sitting behind him. You
Jack
know,
Nicklaus in The Shining.
this is that's the that kind of sums up our gambling right now. And I'm happy for you, Greg. Billy and
Thank
I
you.
can speak for Billy. We're both very happy for you. You started
Thank
from
you.
the gutter and you've now climbed your way up a little bit. We like it. We want to see all the boys eat. Unfortunately, Billy and I right now are actually not eating. We're serving food currently because we suck. We forgot how to bet. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
I've now become a little more triggered now that Greg just went in on everything. So
I'm
uh,
sorry.
Morgan's
yeah,
had a
that
bad day. All right, ladies and
I've had a
gentlemen, Morgan had a real bad day today.
yeah,
Lost
bad
all his
news.
money, lost his quarterback. I mean, what else can go wrong? The Flyers lost in a brutal overtime loss.
I did say the Flyers were going to lose, so I mean,
Well, I'm just saying it's one of your teams. Did the
I
Phillies do
lost.
anything dumb today?
JT Realmuto broke his thumb.
That happened too. That happened too.
It's literally every fucking thing, and
Can't
like
make it up.
literally every single thing that in Philly is just destroyed. Our city's under ice right now. The entire country is under a giant sheet of ice. Everything that could possibly go wrong will go wrong right now. It is truly dark days down here, down I-95 in the city of brotherly love. We feel no brotherly love currently. I want to go around and punch every person I see in the face.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, Jalen Hurts, listen, guy, he's going to be a great
sucks.
quarterback for you for the next 20 years. Don't worry about it.
I love Jalen Hurts. Love that
Jalen
guy.
Hurts will be out of the league in 5 years.
I can't
How,
wait. Well, that'll be 4 years after Carson Wentz is out of the league.
hey,
uh,
how
I'm
could
not
how
gonna
could
get. I'm not gonna get baited into this Carson Wentz slander. I won't do it.
I just don't understand how we could shut the door on Jalen Hurts after the 4 games that he played. He
What did
looked
he show
outstanding.
that? No, what games do you watch? He did not look outstanding at all. He showed
phenomenal.
some nice flashes. He had the first game he played, he looked good for the first half, but then he could not make a single adjustment when the defense would make adjustments to him.
Well,
Well, is
that's
that
why
a
they got rid
coaching
of Doug
adjustment or is
Peterson.
that a player adjustment?
It's a mix of both. Don't get me wrong. Our coaching staff sucked. Now they're all going too. Like, but it's also Jim. They figured him out. He's not the hard. He's not a fucking Patrick Mahomes out there or anything crazy. Fucking Jalen Hurts. He lost his job at Oklahoma or at Alabama. He's going to lose his job here in Philadelphia. His career's arc is Seneca Wallace light.
Here we go.
I
Seneca
don't
Wallace.
get it. I don't get it. You're gonna eat crow when he's a starting quarterback in the NFL for a
Yeah,
while.
yeah, he can go start for somewhere else. There's no shot he's going to start in Philadelphia because our geniuses who run our team will probably take the 13th ranked quarterback at sixth overall this year.
They should trade him to the
Sam
Redskins
Ellinger, come
so he
on
plays
down.
you twice a year.
Anyway, enough of the
That, that
Carson
didn't
Wentz
work
slander.
well.
He's had a bad day. Boys, let's get into some picks. I have nothing for you. I told them they forced me onto this podcast today. I am so tilted. I've lost every dollar I've ever made in my life, besides my Bitcoin money. That's besides the point. That's not being touched anymore.
If you find at Billy on Craigslist, he's actually selling his laptop now also to
Yes,
try
this is
to
my
fund gambling for the next week.
last day with my
You can find
laptop.
him on Craigslist. You can find him on eBay. Every personal belonging he has ever had is available right now. I
Mhm.
heard there's a car up there. His phone, he's actually going to start sending us pigeons or messages since he won't be able to text us any longer. But he has got a nice phone up there as well for anyone out there who, looking to get a new cellular device for their loved ones.
Shout out to my brother who just got a PS5. I'll be selling that on eBay as well.
You could
Boy,
also, a great way Billy's going to make some money is if you want to meet him on the hard court in NBA 2K. He can build a bankroll right there a little bit. He will take you all.
yep,
Just ask Greg. He whips Greg's ass pretty much routinely.
that do be a fact.
Routinely, yes, but I've been in the lab. I've been in the lab.
He- Greg's controller's sitting on his lap right now, so let's
He's practicing.
it's right there.
We'll set the lines later tonight for tonight's matchup. We're going to open it up without even knowing the teams as Billy as a minus 18.5 favorite.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, last time I didn't cover. And I lost outright as a 20-point favorite. So
It happens. There are the rarest of occasions that the underdog will win. I mean, look at Greg's gambling right now. He's winning.
yeah,
Damn straight.
look at Radford losing by almost 30 tonight. Brutal.
Houston losing.
Houston stinks. That's a
Wisconsin,
great segue.
Wisconsin,
Let's get into some
Wisconsin.
picks, Morgan, before you get me tilted about
Yeah,
Radford.
so we'll get into more college and let you get into Radford in a few minutes. Let's talk NBA first, Greg. And
Okay.
before we even get into picks, I feel like we have to talk about what's happening out in Salt Lake City right now. The fucking Utah Jazz are without a doubt the best team in the fucking league. And even as a
Yeah.
Sixers fan, as good as the Lakers look like shit right now, the Jazz are the fucking best team in the league.
Undeniably. Like they're coming in, day out, winning games by huge margins. They were losing at halftime to the Clippers last night. Everyone and their mother knew that was not going to be the outcome of the game. They end up winning the game by double digits, and it's just clockwork for them day in day out. They're the deepest team in the league. Their bench rotation is unbelievable, and they're going to be a tough out in that Western Conference in the playoffs.
And I was watching that because I don't think I was texting with you guys about it or anything, but that Jazz game was the final leg of a parlay for me last night, and I was watching it and I'm like, there's no fucking way they are going to blow this game to the Clippers. It's the last leg I need. It's my last win. However, every dollar that I have won from that parlay is pretty much gone at this point. We're down to our last $15 out of a $500 winner.
Amazing.
And they just turned it on in the end of the third quarter. Massive run to close the quarter. I think they were up by 8 at the end of the third. Ended up winning by a little bit under 30. Like they just a machine. And Greg's favorite player, Jordan Clarkson, so infuriating to watch. This dude shoots the ball from literally anywhere on the court. The dumbest shots I've ever seen. Yet they're falling. They just keep dropping. The Jazz are everything's clicking right now. Rudy Gobert was shot a jump shot last night. He shot 2 shots from outside of the paint all season. He hasn't made them, but he shot it. It was ugly. They're ridiculous. And they don't even have Mike Conley out there right now. Imagine how much better they're even with an older Mike Conley, just having him run the point again with a veteran presence. It's unbelievable. Right now they're 22-7 against the spread on the season. Absolute cash cow. Drake was the cash cow in college basketball early this year. Now it's the fucking Jazz. It's unbelievable what they're doing. They've covered 8 straight now, and it's not ending. They might cover every game the rest of the year. They might actually never lose again.
That's fair.
I will bet them into the ground. I will bet on them every single time. I don't care who they play, who's out. They're getting all of my money.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I agree.
But yes, I mean tonight's the games that are on today. It was a weaker card and everything. There's only 3 games today. Lakers Nets were the marquee game. As of right now, it looks like the Nets are doing pretty good against LeBron and the Lakers. I think that the Lake. I don't know about what you've noticed, Greg. They're down 8. Lakers are down 18 right now. Lakers look like crap. The
Terrible.
two teams that everybody really kind of went into the season about saying they were going to be these juggernauts, the Bucks and the Lakers, both look like trash.
Mm-hmm.
Bucks have just dropped their 5th straight game tonight, lost to the Raptors. They didn't just lose the Raptors; they got spanked by the Raptors, a team that historically over the past few seasons they have dominated. They got spanked. They are playing no defense. They look like trash out there without Drew Holiday. And I never thought I would say that sentence before. But those two teams right now they don't look like they're making any noise in the playoff.
Yeah, I agree, and it's been 2 nights in a row now for the Bucks, dropping to the Raptors, and they've done it handily. It's it's a weird sight to see with how the Bucks, have been playing all of last year and what they look like now. It's night and day.
You know what the Bucks need that would really help them? They need a Jordan Clarkson. He would go miles to making them better.
Yes.
It's I think it's pretty clear. Greg, you and I talked about this, the whole MVP talk last night and everything. But if you go by the teams, it's pretty clear. I think right now that the two best teams in each conference are the Sixers and the Jazz, and I think that would be a very exciting NBA Finals matchup to see. The power that Embiid versus Gobert. What Ben Simmons, Ben Simmons right now is having the best season of his career statistically, even though he's not scoring as much as he usually does. He's playing phenomenal right now. You see aggressive Ben Simmons out there, put up 42 against the Jazz the other night without Embiid out there. A glimmer of what he can be. He has that ability to do it. I think that would be a phenomenal matchup. I don't know what you think. The Nets are starting maybe to round a little bit into form, but we've said it from day one. The Nets playing no defense. They're playing better defense right now without Durant out there. So
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I agree with you that I think that would be a really good NBA Finals due to I think they match up really well on almost every position on sides of the ball. I think that would just be a great matchup to see. And when it comes to the Nets in the finals, I I think they're going to struggle in these 7 game series.
I agree,
You
and
know,
I think that's very much discounted with the playoffs. Is the benches get cut big time
Mhm.
come playoff time? Those 11, 10-man rotations drop to 8-man rotations, which puts a
Mhm.
lot more toll on your starters. You're not resting your starters come playoff time, right? You're going to have Durant, Irving, Harden, all out there playing 40-plus minutes a night. These guys have been a little banged up. Maybe not as much Harden, but Irving, who the heck knows where Irving's going to be? He could be out in Mars right then and there on his mind on the next Elon Musk shuttle that's getting sent out. Durant, we're resting Durant constantly, and he's played great this year, don't get me wrong. But, he's coming off a major injury, and he's had a little bit of injuries this season aside from the Achilles. I agree. I think the Nets are, could be fun. Obviously, they're a fun team to watch, but I don't think they're sustainable for a deep playoff run. Let's bring Billy in on this one though, because Greg, you and I were talking about this yesterday. Before we kind of get into some picks, we'll have Billy kind of split it down the middle and see where he leans and who he favors. MVP for the season. Greg's on the Dame Lillard train. Don't get me wrong, I love Dame time. Dame's my favorite player who's not on the Sixers.
Mhm.
My opinion, you got to go Embiid as the MVP.
It
Billy,
would have it
who
would have
are
to go Embiid because only winners get MVPs.
The Blazers are 18-10.
Are they first in their division?
I don't
Second
know
in their
first in
division?
the division, but
Third in their
they're
division?
like third or fourth in the conference.
Not good enough for me.
and I said one of my things I said to Greg last night was, they're gonna it's gonna go to a guy who's like the best player on the best type of team. That's why LeBron gets so much love for MVP constantly. Giannis the past 2 seasons has been, obviously won the MVP. You can make the argument last season that he did not have the best season of any player out there. A guy like Luka had a better season, arguably, if you put out all the statistics, than Giannis did, but Giannis was on the best team in the league and won that award. And I think one of the big things that we discount is that you see, and Greg kind of made a good point to this last night, because Damian Lillard is basically the trailblazer right now. There's no McCollum. He's got a ton of injuries and everything. But you also see the difference the Sixers look like without Embiid. Without Embiid, the Sixers are 1-7 this season. They're a completely different team. They look like a lottery team, pretty much without Embiid out there. Embiid's out there, they look like one of the best, if not the best teams in the league.
But we don't see the Blazers without Damian Lillard. We don't see it, and that's because he's a dog.
I'm not. Yeah. Oh no, don't get me wrong. I'd be the first to say Damian Lillard is my favorite player who's not on the Sixers. Absolutely love the guy. And maybe in a different year that Embiid wasn't just having the pure dominance that he's having, I'd say absolutely. I think he's the MVP. I don't know. This year, I think because it kind of broached the topic yesterday because Skip Bayless and I think it was Will Bonner, whomever put out an interesting poll of who their top 5 MVP candidates were. I think it was Wilbon had LeBron 1, Embiid 2. Stephen A. Smith was the other one. He had Embiid 1 and LeBron 2, and he did not have Lillard in his top 5. Wilbon had Lillard as I believe it was 4th or 5th on his chart. So it's interesting. It's going to be an interesting race. Even throwing Lillard into that mix, you had the guys. LeBron has had carrying that Lakers team right now. They're playing like crap, but he's still LeBron. He's still arguably one of the, if not the best of all time. He's up there. That's an argument for an entirely different day because that argument I've had with people just goes on forever. Jokic has kind of slowed down a decent bit of late, but I think you definitely make the case that Jokic isn't going to win it because the Nuggets kind of stink this year. They're not playing good basketball, which is very surprising.
Yeah, tell me about it. I bet on last night.
I bet on them constantly. I went into the season and I said the Nuggets were one of my picks to make the finals. I thought they were a great team. I thought getting Michael Porter for a full season was going to be huge for them. They played like crap. They have not been very good in the slightest bit. So we'll see what happens. It's very interesting. I said a couple of weeks ago, I have big plays futures wise on Embiid to win the MVP this season. I think right now you have to roll Embiid as your front runner. It's a lot of season. It's very possible that Embiid has a bad back right now, and then tomorrow I find out he has broke his back somehow. It's very possible, and that changes everything.
Just an odds update: LeBron is the favorite at +1 at +120. Jokic is +400, Embiid is +500, and Dame is +3,300 as the number 8 spot.
They're going to give it to LeBron regardless.
Yep.
Because this is going to be his last opportunity to go for that 5th MVP. It is.
I don't know about that.
This is going to be his last opportunity. And they're going to give it to him.
I think the thing that's interesting about going to LeBron, though, is LeBron, for as great of a player as he is, it's crazy to think he's only won 4 and how he's, in a sense, been cucked out of so many other MVPs. Because there's been many years, the Derrick Rose year. LeBron should have won the MVP the year Derrick Rose won it. There's been a couple other seasons where other guys have won that award where it should have been LeBron. LeBron was the best player. And it's gone in other directions based on, being on the Cavaliers, playing, being out in LA, obviously. You could have made the argument last season LeBron was the MVP, but it went to Giannis again, obviously, right? There's probably at least 2 to 3 MVPs that have been left on the table for LeBron. And I don't hate your argument that this could be one of the last chances he has at it. But at the same time, I also don't think this is his last chance just because LeBron's a freak of nature. There's no way this dude should be doing what he's doing at 36 years old. He's going to keep going. He's Tom Brady. He's going to keep doing this at 43. I don't think he's ever going to stop.
That's fair.
I could get down with that.
Yeah, and if you're going to talk about stolen MVPs, Kobe holds the crown for that.
You're not wrong there. That's another one. He should have had many more than one.
He should have had all of them.
All of them's a bit of a stretch, but he should have had at least more than one for sure. It's the year he played the Sixers in the finals. He probably should have won that year. I'm not complaining that Iverson won it, but probably should have won it that year. It is what it is, right? But all right, Greg, let's talk some picks tomorrow.
Hit me with some.
Yeah, I'll lead us off. I got a couple. Like I said, we said in the beginning of the show, Billy and I were a little bit cold right now. I'm shooting about 500 right this past week in NBA plays. After my real cold streak the past 2 weeks prior, still losing a ton of money because the plays that I'm putting more money in, I'm losing on. But there are a couple games tomorrow. There's a much bigger slate than there was today, so it's much more interesting. The first game that I'm interested, I'm going to go back to my hometown team, Bulls Sixers. Right, I'm going to be on the Bulls +9, not taking the Sixers.
That's fair. I like that play.
Sixers have lost 4 straight against the spread. Sixers really aren't that great against the spread this season. They're 14-14-1, whereas the Bulls are 16-11. And as the dog this season, the Bulls are 13-6. There's a chance that Embiid does not play. We saw the other night against the Rockets, his back very much was flaring up in the first half. He came out and dominated the second half, but his back was he's got a very tough back right now ever since the fall he took against the Celtics. I wouldn't be shocked if he doesn't play in the All-Star game just to give himself some time to rest that back up. We need him for the playoff run. Without Embiid, we're not going anywhere. Bulls are hanging around. They're not a great team by any stretch of the imagination, but they're hanging around. Zach LaVine's a baller, and this is audition time for Zach LaVine to get traded to a contender, a contender like the Sixers. And I wouldn't be shocked if LaVine puts on a show tomorrow night. Sixers actually are not very good guarding against elite guards either. Between Bradley Beal and a couple other ones, I saw it earlier today. I don't remember the names. They've had 5 different lead guards who are kind of like the top guards in the league drop over 40 points against them in a game this season, with Beal putting up 60 against them. So definitely going to be on the Bulls +9. Next game that really interests me is Suns-Pelicans. The Suns are a sneaky good team. I don't even know if you can say sneaky good team anymore. They're a good team. It's amazing what they had a competent point guard in Ricky Rubio, right? It's amazing what a good/great Hall of Fame level point guard can do to a team, and just the leadership that he provides. Suns are 17-10 against the spread this season. They're 11-8 as the favorite this season. So I will be on the Suns laying 2.5 to the Pelicans, where the Pelicans are 12-16 against the spread. I will also be on the over 230.5 points in that game. These two teams light it up, but not as much as the Pelicans light it up. The Pelicans are 20-8 to the over this season. They put up points in bunches. They can shoot the 3. Zion looks phenomenal. They crashed the boards pretty well with Steven Adams and Jackson Hayes, so they get their second chance points put up there. I love the over in this game as well. Devin Booker is on fire right now. Devin Booker is a guy that I'd be very interested to see what his prop number is for points. I might lay a little bit something on there too, depending on how much money I have at the end of the night. So that's a game that's very interesting to me. As we talked about already, the Jazz. Jazz are laying 2.5 against the Clippers again. Crazy because Kawhi and Paul George are still questionable. We don't know if they're going to play. How can you bet against the Jazz right now? It doesn't matter if they're going up in a back-to-back against the same team. 22-7 against the spread this season. Absolutely ridiculous. They've covered 8 straight games. As the favorite this year, they're 26-1 against the spread. This team is phenomenal. They play phenomenal defense. They have the trick down. Shoot threes, get out and run, play defense. They do all 3 as well as any team that I've ever seen, probably. I don't like Rudy Gobert's game that much, but he controls the paint. He plays great defense down there. He's tracking him, or Ben Simmons are tracking that Defensive Player of the Year down right now. We'll see who it goes. It'll probably go to Rudy Gobert just based off history. He's won two straight, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, no, Giannis won it last year, but the year before, I know Rudy Gobert won it. So we'll see what happens there. Clippers, without Kawhi and Paul George, they're not that. I mean, they're a decent team. They might be a bottom 5 seed, but they're not a great team. Kawhi and Paul George make that team go. When you got to rely on, I believe it's, I don't know which Morris it is. I think it's Marcus Morris is on the Clippers. Mm-hmm. When you got to rely on him as kind of your go-to guy, and a 36-year-old Lou Williams who has a ton of tread on his tires, that's a making for a long day for the Clippers. And the last game that I'm looking at for tomorrow is going to be the Warriors versus the Magic. I'm going to be on the Warriors -4. Not great and either way, Orlando is. I mean, Warriors are 15-14 against the spread this year, so they're trending up over 500. Orlando, conversely, is 13-16, but as dogs this season, they're 8-12. So they have not been playing that well. Games in Orlando, I don't think it really matters all that much, to be honest. Ever since Markelle Fultz went out for the Magic have kind of fallen apart. Now they're without Cole Anthony as well, so they don't really have a true lead guard to put out there with them. Terrence Ross is kind of their de facto point guard right now. And while Terrence Ross can put up some points, I believe he scored like 30 last night. He's not the guy who's going to get the team into sets or anything like that. So that's kind of what I'm looking at for right now for tomorrow.
All right, very cool. My first play, top play, is going to be the Jazz minus 2.5 because there's no way that I'm betting against them. And I'm going to get this number while I have it so low because, once one or both of Kawhi and PG-13 is announced that they're going to play, that line's going to move. We saw it the other day. It opened at, I believe, Utah minus 1.5, and it closed at like minus seven, right, Bill?
Yep.
Yeah, so that's some heavy movement. If they both play, I don't see it moving that much in the other way. Maybe Clippers -1. Maybe we'll see a pick 'em. But regardless, if I'm getting those numbers, especially if I'm getting a point with the Jazz, I'm taking that. But I'm going to take the 2.5, roll with the hottest team in the NBA, and leave it at that. Next, I'm going to go with your last pick there, Golden State Warriors -4 against Orlando. Warriors coming off a real thrilling win against the Miami Heat, being down 14 at halftime. Steph Curry had a slow first quarter. He only made one field goal in the first quarter, I believe, and didn't turn it on until late in the game. We don't expect to see a shooting slump like that for him coming into this game, especially with the questionable guard play that they have now, that being the Magic. So I mentioned in last episode that the Magic are not good against the spread. As the home team going into the game against the Knicks, they were 5-8 against the spread at home, and like 11-16 against the spread in total. So each of those gained a win, but regardless, they're still under 40% covering on each side. So I feel comfortable enough laying 4 points with the Golden State Warriors, and and Steph should go off tomorrow night. Next, I'm going to go with the Thunder +11 against the Bucks. For no other reason than the Bucks have lost 5 in a row, like we mentioned earlier. They are looking like a shell of themselves lately. I can't even pinpoint exactly what it is, about them. They're missing Drew Holiday right now, sure, but no one's really stepping up to the table to take over for this team. And Thunder, they are 15-12 covering the spread overall and 11-4 on the road. So, those numbers align perfectly with the situation that the Bucks are in and the number of points that the Thunder are getting. You're giving me 11 points against a team that's lost 5 games in a row.
I love that pick. And just to kind of piggyback off that, to even go more into how much I like that pick, margin of victory. So the Thunder, while they're under 500, they only lose by an average of 5.9 points per game. So I love getting 11 or 11.5. I absolutely love that. I'm actually, depending on if I have money, I might add that to my stuff as well.
I like
There you
that as
go.
well.
Yeah,
I like that as well.
Good. Yeah, I feel like that's a solid play.
If you all like it, that means I'm going the other way.
Yeah.
I always love when Greg puts a pick out. If anyone's noticed at this point, when Greg says a pick and it kind of convinces us, or we're like, yeah, we love that. He has this wry smile on his face. He's like, yeah, they love my pick. I'm so excited.
Yeah, NBA, I haven't been that hot lately. I wish I was able to convince you guys about college lately. I really do.
I tried to convince you about Kentucky on Tuesday, but you were very adamant. I told you if it was at 6, I would love it. I'd be all over the Vanderbilt train, but at 4, I don't know. And you wound up pushing, and I wound up taking victory.
Yeah, lucky enough, we both ended up winning because I didn't lose and you won.
Yeah.
So I'll uh I'll take that. I don't mind it at all.
Dude, I
Uh
told you we needed that 3.5, and we got that 3.5.
you got that 3.5 exactly. Yeah, my last pick on this NBA card for tomorrow. I'm gonna go with Pistons +5 at the Grizzlies. Um, I've been picking against the Pistons probably almost every podcast, and it's gone downhill every time I've done it. So I'm gonna switch it up a little bit here. Detroit's on a little heater, winning 3 of their last 5, and they're just under 500 covering on the road, but they're 15-12 covering overall on the season. Grizzlies don't look nearly as good as they were playing, 2 to 3 weeks ago. They came off a little COVID spurt, and it hit right in the middle of them being on a streak. So that definitely slowed their play down a bit when they came back. I believe they're 3-2 in their last 5 as well. But I'm going to take the Pistons +5, go against my ways, see how that turns out.
I don't hate that one either, to be honest. And it's funny because I was actually looking at the Pistons earlier because I don't know if you probably remember early all season for NBA. I was saying hammer the Pistons over, hammer the Pistons over, hammer the
Mm-hmm.
Pistons over. They don't know how to play any defense. So I sat there and watched a lot of different Pistons games. They still can't play any defense or anything, and they're going to be sitting Blake Griffin obviously now, just getting ready to move him somewhere. Hopefully not to the Sixers. I want nothing to do with him.
I heard the Eagles are looking for a quarterback.
Really? We're gonna go there. We're going there. All right. Um, I had a funny rebuttal, but I've been muted. Um, no, I'm rattled. I'm out. I'm rattled.
Got him
I'll,
again.
I'll, I'll
God
follow up
damn it!
there.
You did it again to me.
I'll follow up there. I did hear that there's a possibility of a reunion with the Clippers, which I don't see that as a bad thing. I'd be giving Marcus Morris the minutes at the 4 over him off the bench. If he goes to Clippers, if he goes to the Clippers, he's looking for the ring. So I think he'd be okay with probably getting
He's not winning it.
But he's
no,
looking for it.
but he's looking for it. That's it. That's all he's doing. But I think he'd be okay with getting 10 minutes off the bench for that team. And when PG-13 and Kawhi sit out, maybe get 20.
You know what's going to end up happening is he's going to end up getting bought out, and he's going to go to the Nets. Just
Why
watch.
not? Why not?
Him and Drummond both will get bought out and end up on the Nets, and the Nets will have 5 former All-Stars in their starting lineup.
Dude, Blake Griffin hasn't had a dunk. He hasn't dunked the ball in almost 2 years.
It's crazy
Is
too
that
to
a
think
fact?
about it because
That's a fact.
That's
he
wild.
doesn't dunk it anymore. It's crazy because think about it, when he came into the league, there was no more electrifying guy dunking the ball than Blake Griffin.
Yeah.
And his knees and back are just shot.
Yep. Now he's a spot up 3-point shooter that
Uh-huh.
shoots like
Completely
30%.
different player now.
I
It's a shame because he was a fun player to watch. He was an easy to root for kind of guy and everything, and he is a shell of his former self.
Yeah,
Dude,
exactly. He rattled the rim like Zion.
I
Mm-hmm.
remember when in game he hit his head on the bottom of the
Yep.
backboard at Oklahoma, and I said, "Oh my god,
Mm-hmm.
oh my god."
Yeah, I mean the dude was great, and his prime and his peak time. Aside from Zion, we haven't seen anybody who could just dunk the ball, especially in game, quite like he could.
Yeah.
It was something else, and it's a shame that injuries, have just ravaged him completely. It probably took away what was a Hall of Fame arc for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not on that Hall of Fame path anymore. Maybe the Hall of Very Good, if anything.
Yeah.
R.I.P. to his career, kind of like Derrick Rose stuff. That his ACL tears took away so much out of Derrick Rose, and Derrick Rose has done a very good job of reinventing himself. To be still a pretty good player in this league, but long ways away from those MVP years.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I agree.
Is that it for the NBA, boys?
Yeah, that's all I got. That's
Okay,
all
because
I
I think
got.
I finally found a college basketball play.
Oh,
Oh, I
he's
love to
back,
hear
babe.
it.
He's back.
I've just spent the last 30 minutes tuning you guys out unless I hear my name being called or a potential Carson Wentz joke, which, by the way, I had another one and I let that one slide about Blake Griffin, going to the Clippers and getting 10 minutes. It's kind of like when Jalen Hurts got into the game. He started, and then they'd have Carson Wentz on the side. And like, oh, Carson, get in there, run a fake pass. Oh, great times. Great times. I miss those times. I'll always miss those. Anyway, kicking off college basketball, I only have one play currently, and it's going to be Cleveland State -5 against IPFW, also known as Purdue Fort Wayne, who's a very bad team. And if you guys listen to me, I love betting on Cleveland State. The reason why I didn't have it on any card or anything is the line just came up. I've just been like refreshing for new lines and whatnot. Um, the Vikings are 4-1 in the last 5. The Vikings are Cleveland State for you uncultured swine. They're also 5-1 in the last 6. Fort Wayne turns the ball over like crazy. Almost 25% of their plays are turnovers, which is amazing. It's truly wild.
Hmm.
And Cleveland State is great at perimeter defense. I expect a lot of steals and a lot of points off turnovers. I actually might lean the over in that game, but Cleveland State will be my pick for that reason.
All right.
That's all I
Thank-
got. That's all I got, boys.
That's fair. I'm sure there will be more tomorrow.
I
Degenerates,
like the
don't you
Bellarmine,
worry.
but I'm almost positive that was canceled. I thought I had an update saying that was canceled.
Bellarmine, I will confirm or deny in 1 second.
One website says it's postponed. The other one says it's up. I don't have
Ooh,
a line for it.
they are canceled.
God damn it.
I hate to
Bellarmine.
see it.
Bellarmine.
I have 3 plays right now in college. As upsetting as it is, I've probably been doing better in college of late than I have been in NBA. Except I think I actually lost literally every single play today that I posted.
I did.
So
Oh no, I
you
technically
did.
won the other one. I pushed.
I think I haven't looked yet, but I'm pretty sure I've lost literally every single play. But anyway, for tomorrow, I do like Monmouth plus 1.5 against Iona. Monmouth is 9-5-1 against the spread this season, so I really like Monmouth. Akron laying 4.5 against Ball State. They are 10-5 this season against the spread. I've bet on Akron a few times. They've done very well for me so far this year. So we're going to kind of stick with what we know. And my favorites, team that has taken me to the moon and back to the moon a second time. I will bet on them every single time. Toledo, my Rockets going up against Buffalo. Toledo is getting 2 points against Buffalo. So little things I'll have to look and do a little bit more digging into why that is the case. But Toledo has been a cash cow this season also. They are 17-6 against the spread this season. So I said I'm pretty sure the very first episode for college basketball this season that I loved Toledo. They were my mid-major team that I absolutely loved. That pick has looked great. They are awesome. They're my favorite team. If I wish I could go back to college, I probably would have gone to Toledo because they've just made me so much money this year. And because I've lost so much money today, I need them to make me more money again tomorrow. So I'm going to ride my Rockets to the moon. And if they lose, I'm just going to stay up there because I won't have any money.
If they take you to the moon, just don't jump.
Yeah, please don't jump.
Life is good.
Jalen Hurts is a great quarterback.
He's a
Oh,
great
here we
quarterback.
fucking go.
I will say that the reason why Buffalo is favored because they are the home team and they've been lights out on defense at home. I did some digging for you to try to figure it out.
Means nothing to me. I ride my Rockets.
Sure.
They haven't
Buffalo's
played in
last.
a little while, right?
Who, Toledo?
No,
This sounds
Buffalo.
like we're.
Oh,
This
no,
sounds
no.
like we're. I was gonna say Toledo sounds like we're rested now.
No, Toledo just played the other day. You
I
just
am
bet on it
sweating.
the other day.
Just
Yeah,
FYI, I am sweating the crap out of this Oregon game right now.
I know, I see it.
We are up by 2 with 3:30 left, and I need 3.
That's brutal. Just to break it down for you, Morgan, give you some numbers behind it. In the last 5, Buffalo has allowed 68.6 points per game at home, and the Rockets have allowed over 82 points.
I love it. High score shootout, baby.
Buffalo's averaging 83.
Yeah,
the moon.
they're to the moon. Yeah, they're both powerhouse offenses. Uh, we should see a high scoring affair. The over under 162 kind of, you know, scares me a little bit because I hate seeing those kind of numbers. They make me want to lean under every single time.
And they usually wind up hitting over.
Yeah, I feel like I've only played like one or two of them this year that were 160 or above, and I played the under. I remember one being Alabama LSU, and that went under like 2 weeks ago. But yeah, I try and just stray away from those. Is it my turn, boys?
I
My
guess
turn.
so. So
It is
he's
the
getting
hottest
getting his
gambler.
crown ready. Excuse us.
It's the hottest gambler on the podcast. Give him a drum roll.
We're
Thank you,
not
thank you.
worthy. We're not worthy. Carson Wentz
Boys.
isn't worthy.
somebody in the
Carson.
background is booing you right now.
Yeah, well,
Here
their
comes some more
girl,
slander. You
their
already teased it
girlfriend,
a little bit.
their girlfriend hasn't been giving them my plays. That's why they have no idea what they're talking about.
Girlfriend's favorite podcast.
Yeah, but regardless, boys, as we said before, I'm hot in college. They're just coming. We're gonna start off tomorrow with Wright State, Northern Kentucky over 144. Wright State, best team in the conference. They are awesome. It seems like year in, year out, they're at the top of that conference. And this year is no different. They're scoring 82 points a game. Northern Kentucky, no slouch either. They're scoring 72 points a game. But the kicker here is that they're both letting up a little over 72 points a game. Uh, this leads me to believe that, offense is going to be prominent in this game. You know, they're averaging 72. This conference is weak as is, and both the teams can score. So against good teams, they're letting up 75 plus every time, both of them. And I see both of these teams hitting 75 in the game, or at least I'm hoping so. But
Begging.
yeah,
I like that.
begging for it. Yeah, 144 it seems like a low number for the two teams at hand, and I'm gonna go with that. It's already in. Next play, I'm gonna go St. Louis minus 5.5 at Dayton. Uh, I called St. Louis fraudulent like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago.
That's because they are.
Yeah, they're fraudulent. The only reason I called them fraudulent was because they hadn't played a game in 2.5 weeks, and they were just sitting holding the number 22 spot in the rankings, and I just didn't get it off of like a 7 game sample size. But they've come out since their break, and they've played great basketball. They're blowing out the teams that they should be blowing out, and Dayton's one of those teams that they should blow out. The spread's only 5.5, and Dayton is so warm and cold. I'm not even going to say hot and cold because
Say, what the fuck is warm and cold?
yeah, I'm not going to say hot and cold because they're not hot. They're not a
Is this
hot
like
team.
taking a bath?
Yeah, you don't want steaming water because then that burns. I might as well just go in the hot tub. But
I'd rather be in a hot tub than a regular bathtub.
yeah, I have not
I
taken
don't want to
a
be in warm
bath.
water.
I'm too
Yeah.
big for a bath.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing with Dayton is
They're too big
they're
for baths.
no that
Too
they're
big
warm
for
and
baths.
they're warm and cold, so nobody
You
should
heard it-
ever
You
take them.
heard it here first, folks. Betting the Diagonal has broke the story. Dayton is too big for baths.
Too big for baths.
Off the top of my head, I don't remember if they covered on Tuesday, but I feel like they did.
Dayton.
Yes. That
Tuesday.
would that be a hot tub or would that be a bathtub?
I don't know. They lost in double overtime by 2 to Rhode Island. Rhode Island was 3-point favorites, so yeah,
Yeah,
they covered. They covered by a point. But
Just turn that hot tub on right there.
yeah, Dayton's just not an impressive team. There's really no number that I would ever feel comfortable playing Dayton. Yes, Morgan.
I have to say, out of all the little analogies and bullshit things we've said on this podcast,
That was
like
good.
Billy being the bread maker and everything, this is the weirdest one we've ever had.
Warm and
Is a
cold.
hot tub analogy.
Warm and cold hot tubs.
You
I feel
guys
like
did it.
next episode, I'm thinking we got to have a bathing suit episode, and we're all in beaters and fucking speedos or something at this point.
I don't own a speedo and it's like 10 degrees here. So, thanks.
Hey, I
Yeah.
mean, maybe if you just jump in that snow behind you, you'll warm up. Maybe it's warm underneath there.
They better fucking hope so. I need some winners. Craig, give me some more winners.
All right. The last one I have for now, I'll have a couple more once more lines come out tomorrow. But the last play for tonight is Akron minus 4.5 at Ball State. Akron could flat out score. Sorry, my camera was falling. Lauren Christian Jackson, their point guard, he's an absolute baller.
Yeah.
He is a baller. That offense runs through him. He's averaging 22 points a game, and it seems that they get into the double bonus, as in they're shooting free throws, every half, and he's lights out. You know, he's in full control of this offense, and they Ball State is just not a good team. Akron's won their last two road games against good teams in the conference, like Kent State and Ohio. And Ball State has lost two of their last three home games with an average point differential of -7. Yeah, they lost. They lost two games. I believe it was by like 20 and 13, but they beat Toledo by 14. They did beat Toledo. Yeah.
Talking bad about my Rockets?
No, I'm not.
No, we were talking bad about your quarterback again. Sorry.
Yeah, about Carson Wentz.
You know what? I'm going to focus on my Oregon game real quick.
All right. But yeah, Akron at 4.5 on the road. It's too juicy of a number for me not to take.
Yeah.
Especially with the way Ball State plays on most nights. This is going to be a double-digit affair. So I would get it while it's still at 4.5. I could see it moving up to 6 by game time.
Yeah, no, I like that. We have a good friend of the podcast, our buddy Hutch, loves betting on Ball State. So you can expect it in our Discord
Really?
tomorrow. Him saying something about Ball State.
Did he go to college there or something?
No, he just likes to bet on them. Them and Bowling Green. He's like in a big predicament. Always picks the wrong team whenever they play each other. Every time.
Tough break.
I'm just upset that Bellarmine's not playing tomorrow. I was listening to a podcast breaking down like the season, and they were the new team coming up from D2. I think I was telling you about this, and they said the guy, like, never heard of him before. He was a beat reporter for them in D2, like as a younger man. He goes, their coach is no joke. All they want to do is score, and all they've done is cover.
Yeah, they're 13-5 on the season. I haven't done really any digging into them.
I think I've bet on them 2 or 3 times, and they've covered each time for me.
Yeah. They're 11-5 against the spread. They're gonna make they should be making the tournament. They're first in the conference, but due to stupid rules, they won't make the tournament.
Quick question.
Answer.
Because I'm honestly not sure. Do you know if they're doing conference tournaments this year?
Yes, but I think a lot of teams are opting out.
So that's why the conference winner is just going to the tournament?
Well, conference winner always goes to the tournament. I thought. No, that's wrong.
No, the conference tournament winner goes.
Conference tournament winner. I know. But not every conference does a tournament.
Right.
Most do. I'm never focused on like who wins the fucking ACC, Big Ten. I'm looking at the Big Sky and
the horizon.
Yeah, Southern.
The Southern Conference,
baby.
Well, I gotta love those mid majors. Everyone should be learning about mid majors. That is where the money is made.
We talked about it last week briefly.
Toledo.
Yeah, and before we move on to NHL, I just want to hold on. I have to find it real quick. It'll just take me 2 seconds.
He's about to congratulate himself again, isn't he?
No,
Yeah, 100%. 100%. His
I
head
am
is getting
not.
too big for the screen right now.
I am not going to congratulate
Well,
myself. I have
I
no reason
potentially have
to.
another pick
All right,
in
give
the
it out while
meantime.
I'm finding it.
he's so back. He
I
is
need
so
it,
back
dude. I
right
need
now.
it. Listen, boys and girls, if you're listening, don't be like me. You don't want to be tilted and begging the card to give you something because that's never good. I'm leaning the over in Utah State and Boise State.
I
It's
actually have that also. And I have a question mark next to it because I don't know if it's going to be a play or not yet, but I have that as well.
I gotta see where it goes tomorrow morning.
Yeah, it was a winner on Tuesday night or Wednesday. Yeah, Tuesday night.
They are not playing Tuesday night on Friday night, so therefore that's how I do it.
Oh man, yeah. Okay. So my announcement was going to be look out for James Madison on Saturday because, it's free money this year. But unfortunately, their game against Delaware has been postponed.
Mm-hmm. There's gonna be a lot of games
So
postponed this weekend.
yeah, it sucks. I wonder what
You
that's going to
know,
be like if the tournament if that happens.
It won't. They're all gonna
this
be quarantined.
this version of Greg here with the winners and really really good about himself all happened because of James Madison.
Yeah.
Because he was
That,
playing all these James Madison games, telling us to get on it, and we never did it, and he kept winning. And now look what's happened. He keeps winning, and we keep losing.
Whoa, I'm
it's
still fucking. I don't know how I know after today, but I was 13 games over up until
I think I'm
today.
like I think I'm like 3 or 4 over in college.
Now you're definitely under after today.
Oh, after today, I'm way down. I might be like 30 under after today.
Yeah. I'll as long as I don't have to wake up the crack of ass to go to work tomorrow, thanks to the snow, praying to you snow gods. Uh, I'll post the records up tomorrow on Twitter. It's
there
been
you
too
go.
long. It's not easy, you know. It's not easy doing all this.
Yeah, I did. I
I,
actually
I would
just
say I
did
would
the.
do it, but I'm banned from the numbers game.
You
That's a
are
fact.
you are banned from the numbers. You definitely are banned. But I just did my current record for college after today, and
You don't want to hear it.
56%. 56%.
That's great.
Over 200 games.
Now let's hit them over 500.
Yeah, I mean, I would think by the end of the tournament, I'll probably get to like 350.
Tournament's in 23 days.
Right. I mean, we got another 2 weeks
We
left of
have
the
to start
season.
winning so we have bankroll for the tournament. Shit.
It's a personal issue. I'll figure it out. I told them today I wasn't coming on the podcast because I needed to look for a second job. Uh, Greg, give us your NHL picks.
NHL. All right. Where are they? All right, cool. So I am going to start out with the Edmonton Oilers money line, and they are on the road against Calgary. Uh, you're going to get Oilers at plus money here, plus 110. And they put up so many goals in games that I have no problem taking them if they're a minus 175 money line. But if I'm getting them at plus money, I have no reason not to take them.
Yes.
Just for the opportunity that they could win a game 7-6,
Very
because
true.
that's just how they roll. And I am going to pair that with the over in the game, 6.5. Uh, there's a give me reason for that. They could score 7 themselves, single handedly. So, there's no real other reason than that. Edmonton overs every game seems like to play. I don't know what the stats are on that. Actually, I would love to know.
I'm trying to find a worthy stat. I got one for you.
Give it to me.
Just repeat what you just said for the people back home first. What's
I
the
would
play?
I would say the play is over for the Oilers. 6.5.
The under is 4-1 in the last 5 for the Oilers.
The under is 4-1. Okay. Do you have the season over under for
9,
them?
8-1. 9, 8-1.
9, 8-1.
So they
Okay.
started out hot when the goalies weren't really seeing the puck well. I guess. I don't know.
All right.
Hockey's tough, man. You know, it's a lot of puck luck involved in over-unders, you know? You know that better than anybody from last night. It was tough.
Yeah, that sucked. I had Morgan. I don't know if you knew this, but I had the over 6.5 in the Jets Oilers game to finish off a 5 or 16 parlay. It was to win like $2,000, and
We
the
want a
Jets
bet,
just
boys.
had a boy.
Sorry.
Cash this out, young king.
There you go, young king.
Oh my god.
But yeah, the Jets blew a lot of opportunities there. It was 3-2. All I needed was the Jets to put one back within the last 5 minutes of the game, and I would have won. But didn't happen that way. I got cucked again with Michigan tonight. You know, it seems like every night I have a 5 or 16 parlay, and the last leg just totally cucks me. But that is what it is. Getting back to the picks, Oilers money line over 6.5, and I'm also going to go with the Jets money line at the Canucks. We were big
You're
time
gonna
Nucks
bet
fan.
against the Nucks?
I was just
How
about to go into
dare
that.
you?
That we were big Nucks fans at the beginning of the season. They have
We
tapered
still are
off.
big Ducks fans.
Maybe you guys, but I see a bounce back game for the Jets tomorrow night. Tough loss to Edmonton last time out, and yeah, I see the Jets at a plus 105, and I like it.
I have it minus 105, minus 115.
Honestly, I kind of figured it was 105 because I saw the Nucks at minus 115. So minus 105. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes the numbers are just strange. I do
Yeah.
have a stat about the Jets. The
Okay.
the Jets are 13-3 to the puck line.
Really?
hmm They've been dogs a lot.
Yes, that's plus 1.5, minus 1.5.
hmm I just thought that was real interesting. They're the best team in the league by that. It's not really close.
I do have, as we're
Oh.
talking Buck stuff, I do have a hockey pick as well. I am back, Ice God. I'm back on the ice, boys.
Let's do that hockey.
Let's do it. I'm pucked up. Are you pucked up?
Stop saying that.
I'm going to be taking the Blackhawks plus 1.5 against the Hurricanes. We started the hockey season saying how shitty the Blackhawks are.
They
We
still
were
are
wrong.
shitty.
They're shitty, but they are great against the spread this year.
Mm-hmm.
This season so far, Blackhawks overall are, hold on, I just had it, 12-6 against the spread.
Yeah.
They're going into Carolina, who was one of my picks to win the cup, is only